Hey MMT followers, Christina Fuges with MoldMaking Technology for another quick MMT chat that is all about expert procurement, strategic sourcing, and some supply chain advisement with two guys who are actually called the sourcing guys. I like that name. So meet my guests, Jimmy Young and Caleb Holdeman, and they are with the sourcing guys based out of Southwest Michigan. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Christina. Thanks for having us.
Christina.
So why don't you start off by giving me a quick rundown of each of your roles, your titles. What do you guys each do individually with the sourcing guys? Jimmy, why don't you go first?
Sure. So I'm basically the director of operations, so handling all the operations side. We basically took our niches and our expertise from what we did in the past together, and basically put that together inside the business, how we'd like it to roll out like that. So basically I have all the operations, yes.
Okay. Caleb?
Yeah, so we kind of wear many hats, really. There's a few different things I do. One of the things is marketing. Like I made the website and I'm trying to drive some of the SEO. And then I do a lot of the focus material on optimization of tools and processes.
Okay. All right. So give me in a nutshell the vision statement or the mission of the sourcing guys.
The sourcing guys, we're here to provide consulting and outsourcing services within the sourcing and procurement process. So we can help anywhere in the value chain of this process, from finding, the source all the way to making your materials, or basically source all the way to making sure your materials arrive at the required destination.
Okay. So supply chain, sourcing, these are words that we've heard a lot, especially in 2020. So can you talk a little bit about the motivation behind launching this business model and launching it amidst COVID-19?
The three of us combined, Mike, myself, and Caleb, we have a passion for making businesses run efficiently. We were trained that way. We were expected to execute at high levels. We had a passion for saving money, and we treated that like it was our own money and our own business. So we all had similar roles at our prior and current companies that provided us opportunities to accomplish all that above. To elaborate on that, I guess the idea was discussed over the year, and COVID just enhanced that.
Yeah.
And with the actual current status of COVID and the conditions of the economy and whatnot in the business manufacturing, we put that together, and the three of us, or two of us, were actually impacted in a negative way. So we put that business idea together and it actually made us actually implement everything faster and get the business launched.
Yeah, I could see that. So why don't you break down for me the services that you provide, and maybe a little bit about what you don't provide, in case there's any confusion about what something called the sourcing guys would do.
Sure. So our main purpose is really to provide services and support to small businesses in any way possible. Although our focus is really on supply chain management and procurement, we can provide additional support for companies in areas such as bookkeeping and operations. But our main services that we advertise are RFP management, procurement and supply chain outsourcing, and procurement and supply chain consulting.
Is there anything that people would approach you for that you don't want to get into?
Marketing type items, and then I would say IT, things like that. That nature is not really our specialty.
So when a customer comes to you, or actually even before that, so the concept of the sourcing guys, are there certain things that you have repeatedly experienced or were part of in your careers that led to this exactly? Like, what are some common complaints or common pitfalls that you have experienced?
So one of the most common pitfalls that we have seen among the organizations that we've helped and worked for are that they don't use analytics very often or at all. Thus, they don't have any sort of data backing the price that they have, that they pay for their products or services. Another pitfall is that a lot of these smaller companies have this is the way we've always done it mentality. Although it is important to maintain loyalty among your business partners, it's also important to make sure that you're getting a fair price. for your parts and services. It's really important that these small companies, stay profitable and competitive so that they can grow their business. I would say a third pitfall that I've seen personally is continuous improvement. Many small businesses think they can't afford to increase their efficiencies because it's going to cost them tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to bring in a consulting firm. But with our services, that's just not true. Our outsourcing option guarantees, 50% minimum cost savings compared to hiring an additional employee. And our consulting option provides a valuable alternative to increase efficiencies through the organization, and that cost only starts at $999.
Okay. Oh, wow. So yeah, I mean, right, money talks. Like if they actually are, cognizant of what they're spending in other areas, something like that looks like it is reasonable. It's just, I think it goes back to what you're saying in terms of change and looking at something a different way and taking a different option. And also, I think that term consulting sometimes is not the right word. I think it gets overused, and I like when there's like people talk more about solutions, and it sounds like that's what you're providing.
Yeah, that's absolutely something that we're providing, is we're trying to give you a solution rather than coming in and saying, hey, you just need to quote out your parts and everything. We actually want to provide you with the tools to make you successful.
Yeah. So, all right, now we're talking a lot about data, and data these days, we're always talking about data on all different kinds of level. So let's talk about results. Can you share some actual case studies, to demonstrate what you can do and how you want to provide that to the small to mid-sized manufacturer who might be struggling with adapting and managing disruptions and staying competitive? Because that's the target audience of MoldMaking Technology. So talk about that a little bit. Give us some concrete examples.
One example would be working with a client who purchased many different SKUs of a raw material at many different MOQs. We conducted a full analysis on their volumes by SKU and determined many SKUs warranted an increase in MOQ based on buy volume for the year. This opportunity allowed us to work with the suppliers to quote new MOQs to deliver savings for the client, specifically moving from less than a truckload purchase to full truckload purchases, which resulted in 6-figure savings.
Wow. Wow. That talks. Any other?
Yeah, I got another one. Second example is having an understanding of total landed costs. A lot of smaller companies, even in the experience I've had, they don't really focus as much on the landed cost and the analytics behind it. As I mentioned, oftentimes organizations will look at piece prices and make a decision based solely off that information alone. We've created automated total landed cost models and analytical tools for companies in the past that show all the costs that go into your direct spend. We will be able to develop those tools for the company and cater those tools to the company's needs, modify it based off of what they have to work with. And these tools will show, the whole picture, not just that high level piece price. And then the tools will allow you to do a deep dive into your data and realize that you may not only need help with your sourcing geographically, but your supplier may also be charging you too much for material, or maybe profit, or even labor.
Wow. I like how it's not this, it's never a one size fits all, and that you're going in there listening to the customer to find out what, identifying what their needs are, right? And find out what needs to be sourced. Because a lot of times that doesn't happen. And I know within the mold manufacturing niche, it's a very specialized industry. What they make, what they do every day is customized in itself. So it's nice to hear that you go in and you're not just like doing the same thing for every company that you go into. You're actually listening.
Yes.
So is there anything specific that you would advise a small to mid-sized shop? Because I can see where a larger organization, larger enterprise might see this as an option more clearly than somebody small to mid-sized that doesn't think it is right for them. So what would you say to that shop?
Well, for example, we've actually met with a few. So, I mean, we're going in to back up what you mentioned. We're not trying to sell a tool or software or anything. We're going in, learning about the business, accommodate to them. So we want to get their needs. So what we say to them is like, let us hear you out, see everything that you have to show us, tell us everything that we need to know, and then go from there.
Is there a specific, are you specifically looking for certain things no matter what the company is? Like, are there certain standout things that you see first that, I don't want to say it's wrong, but that stand out to you, like, okay, we can start there?
I would say manual processes, really. There, a lot of these companies are using manual processes, and they have been for a long time, and it goes back to that that's how we've done it mentality, and they don't know how to do it any other way. So that's kind of what we would be looking for.
What does it look like? So somebody's interested. Tell me just briefly, what does that initial connection, meeting, consultation look like?
We would go in. We definitely want to do a face-to-face if we can, but under the COVID conditions, we'll do whatever the business owner feels comfortable with based on the criteria. But we go in. We have a sales presentation to highlight what we do and what we can offer. So we go in, go over the sales presentation, make sure they understand all of our services, and then they tell us, again, their needs, and then basically go from there, and we can give them a recommendation on what we could do for them.
So I know through your past experience too, and talking to you previously, relationships are really important. And again, that is something that is huge in this mold making community, and that is a way to build trust. And I would imagine what you are offering, it is required that you are, in order to get them to open up to you, right? Open up their facility, open up their everything that they do. You need to build trust. So amidst COVID, so talk about the value of relationships and what you're offering, and then how are you going to go about and try to build that in today's environment?
Yeah, for the three of us, I mean, one of the main reasons we're all together is for relationships. I mean, that's the most important part of what we accomplish in our past and what will be necessary to allow us to support all the small business owners. I mean, you have small businesses that, relationships are everything. They need that trust. They don't have room for error. So we intend to treat their business as it was our own, and the actual business owners will dictate the needs to us so we can accommodate them. As far as the three of us, we built our chemistry and passions throughout the years working closely together within a procurement organization at our prior companies. I mean, the three of us, we spend our days together, lunches together, family time together, personal time together. Never got tired of each other. We have
good.
I mean, we have a unique chemistry. We understand each other's sarcasms. Basically allows us to operate 24/7 with each other with no interruptions, and it doesn't even feel like work. We have a passion for what we do. So and to follow up on that, we all three have our niche and talents that combined for the success that the company we work for. I mean, there's not anything that we can't relate to within the business to create success between the three of us. So, our backgrounds are diverse, and we wear many hats, as Caleb mentioned. We feed off each other to apply, our communications with, with the small business owners. To even follow up on that, due to our global experience speaking to numerous countries, manufacturing companies across the U.S. through online meetings to COVID, we have the ability to, communicate. And this probably goes back to your original question, effectively and efficiently with business partners until we can have that necessary face-to-face.
Yep.
But we feel that the face-to-face is the communication, is the best way to have, the face-to-face. The best way is to have face-to-face meetings is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and to build that trust. And it's all about relationships, everything you do. Because if you have to build that trust, like I said, to help them fix a problem, it can be humbling, especially for the small business owner, to realize that I know, you can't tell me that a lot of these men and women don't know what they're doing. It's not the right way to do it or the most efficient way. A lot of times they just feel that they're too busy and it's not the right time. And you have the job of going in there and showing that let us do it. Let us show you it can be better.
Yes, I mean, I think one of the biggest challenges is just to follow up on everything we just talked about is changing the beliefs. Caleb mentioned it. It's changing their beliefs. They've always done it a certain way, and their way has worked. We're not saying that their way didn't work. We're trying to just say, hey, there's an opportunity to do it a better way, You get cost savings, your business runs more efficiently, and you can apply your talent in other areas of your business and grow your business even more.
Yeah, agreed. So any closing words? Any advice or anything you want to, give a shout out to how they can find out more about you?
Yeah. I mean, you can contact us via our website, at www.sourcingguys.com, or you can reach out to us at email at info@sourcingguys or at our Gmail.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you both, Caleb and Jimmy, for your time today. And for all those listening out there, remember, for everything mold making, visit moldmakingtechnology.com. Stay safe, stay healthy, and more importantly, stay informed and stay inspired.
Thank you.